Hello everyone, welcome back to the Geek Blend. I'm Jeff, and welcome to our first review for the Conjuring universe here on the channel. I did a Nun review a couple years ago. I went back and watched it, and it's terrible. The editing is awful, so I deleted it off the channel, and I'm doing it again because I've just recently watched it again. Since I'm doing the reviews leading up to the Conjuring 3, Devil made me do it. So let's take a look at the Nun. And first of all, I will say that there are spoilers in this video, so if you've not seen this movie, definitely want to watch it, come back and then watch the review, because I'll be doing spoiler reviews for all of these. None of these will be non-spoiler, they will all be filled with spoilers. I'm gonna butcher a lot of names here, but let's try to do it. The Nun stars Demian Bichir as Father Burke, Tessa Farmiga as Sister Irene. That is also the sister of Vera Farmiga, who plays Lorraine Warren in the Conjuring franchise and also makes an appearance in this film. Jonas Bloquet as Frenchie, Bonnie Aarons as the Nun, and it also stars, of course, Vera Farmiga as Lorraine Warren, and a special appearance from Patrick Wilson as Ed Warren. They do have an appearance in this movie to kind of connect it to the Conjuring series, because that's where the Nun first appeared, was in the Conjuring 2. But in the timeline of movies, this is the first one. This film is set in 1952 in an abbey in Romania. I will say, positive note on this about this movie is at the beginning, and in the first half an hour, it sets up this really great gothic horror vibe and feel to it, where you're really kind of like looking forward to what they're going to do. The opening sequence where you first see the Nun and the sisters are trying to get a relic to stop the Nun, and the Nun that goes in the doorway tells the other Nun, like, if I don't make it out, you know what to do, because she needs a vessel to get out. So we see the Nun commit suicide, and Frenchie is the first character we're introduced to in the film. He's the one who discovers the Nun. Then we're introduced to Father Burke, who goes to recruit Sister Irene, who is not yet a nun. She's not taken her vows yet. They go to Romania to investigate what has happened at this abbey with the Nun, and all the stuff that's going on around this abbey with this whole situation. The biggest problem I have with this film is they show the Nun like right up close, pretty early on in the film, when Sister Irene is searching the castle while Father Burke is searching the grounds, and it just kind of takes a little bit away from that suspense and the reveal towards the end of the movie. Maybe just give us glimpses of her, maybe shadow glimpses with just her eyes. I watched this with my wife. She'd never seen this before. This is my third viewing of this film, and after the movie was over, she said something that kind of really echoed my sentiment about the film that I can never find a way to explain. That the film felt empty. There was something missing, and I will agree with her 100%. There wasn't enough backstory with Father Burke, Sister Irene, or Frenchie. Not enough about those characters, and they try to kind of give you this history with Father Burke. He had a failed exorcism in his past involving a little child in France, and like I said, they give you a little bit of the backstory on it, but it does not give you enough to connect with that child. When you see the child again, and with him and what happened with the exorcism, they give you a little bit of stuff on it. But when you want to connect deeper with a character, you should be given more. It should be kind of throughout the film giving you more and more about that character and their backstory, but they don't. They really don't. They kind of just throw you into the mix in this abbey in Romania and give you a little bit of a creepy vibe. They do explain the Nun, what the Nun's real name is, the demon named Valak, what this abbey in Romania originally was there for. It's guarding an entrance to hell, and during World War II, when bombs were being dropped on the abbey, it cracked open the portal and released the seal and released Valak again, and the nuns of St Clair were trying to pray to keep her at bay, and they have a relic in the abbey that contains the blood of Jesus Christ to keep the Nun and try to seal the portal. Why they didn't seal the portal, I don't know. I mean, they tried to get to the relic with the key they used to get in there, but they never made it down there. Of course, the Nun killed the one in the beginning trying to get through, and the other nun that was the last one left committed suicide, so they had nobody else to seal off that portal. But Valak did need a vessel to escape the abbey. There's a lot of jump scares in this movie. You can kind of know when they're coming, and you can see where they're coming from. It's just very... the best way to describe it's a very empty film. Not a lot happens. You don't really think our characters are in danger that often, because the nun doesn't do a lot to them you just don't feel like they're in mortal danger, or if there's something's going to happen to them. Just for some reason, there's just not that sense of danger. I don't know why. The nun does a few things, so you would think these people are in danger, but there's just something within this movie that just makes you realize that they're not in any danger. That's the feel this film gives off, and that's unfortunate because it should be setting up this abbey contains a portal to hell. You would think these people are in mortal danger immediately, but for some reason, the film doesn't portray it. Like, you don't get that sense that they are in danger. It's unfortunate because I went into this movie in the theater when I first saw it, really wanting to like it, really wanting to enjoy it, because we'd had 2 Conjuring spinoffs so far, the original Annabelle and Annabelle Creation. The first Annabelle, nope. Annabelle Creation was good. I really enjoyed that one. I will get more into that in the spoiler review coming up soon. That'll be the next one. So I was kind of going in with hit or miss, and this one, swing and a miss. This one was not good. I'm not going to blame the actors because they did best with what they were given. The performances were okay. Taissa Farmiga played Sister Irene. I thought her performance was the best in the film. Damien Bakir, who played Father Burke, did okay. The guy who played Frenchie, I will say this, his accent was very heavy. It was really hard to understand a lot of his lines, especially for my wife who doesn't understand accents very well. Me, I understand accents a lot more, but even for me, it was hard to kind of understand him. But it just wasn't a great film. A lot of jump scares, not a lot of meat, not a lot of stuff for the story that you can attach yourself to. And that's the thing about the Conjuring franchise, especially the 2 Conjuring films. It's a very well done character study with the family that they're focused on, and of course Ed and Lorraine Lauren. They do a really good job with those characters and making you feel for those characters and the family that they're helping. This just didn't really connect with those characters like those movies did with Father Burke and Sister Irene and Frenchie. You didn't feel that same connection with them as you do with the Warrens and the families in the Conjuring films. So that's another reason this one failed. I know I said there were spoilers and I didn't really get into a lot about the plot, but the end sequence with the nun and Frenchie and Sister Irene and Father Burke, it's kind of a mess. There's a part where the nun is trying to drown Sister Irene, and Sister Irene does have the relic with the blood of Christ, but you see Sister Irene, as she goes limp underwater, her mouth is open underwater, okay? When the nun pulls her out of the water, pulls her up to her face, Sister Irene wakes up, and she has swallowed the blood of Christ in her mouth and spits it on the nun, Valak, in her face, which doesn't make any sense. I remember even in the theater, my friend was like, how did she have the blood of Christ in her mouth when you can clearly see her mouth is open underwater? Again, that doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of things about the movie that doesn't make sense. It just doesn't work. There's a couple of creepy moments in the end sequence where Frenchie comes into a room and sees a bunch of nuns with bags over their heads and there's blood all over them. And he'll move around, and one of the nuns will turn their head and make a cracking sound, like looking at him. It's kind of a creepy setup there, but really not a lot. The kid is haunting Father Burke, keeps coming back again and again, and he does in this sequence here with the snake out of his mouth. That's how the father figures out by reading the book that it is Valak. Basically, Valak gives herself away as the demon, which I don't know why they would. Maybe make it harder to figure out who you're dealing with here. But yeah, there's a sequence as well involving a bunch of nuns in the abbey that we think are still alive. When Frenchie and Father Burke find Sister Irene praying with the nuns, all the nuns around them are dead, and they have been dead for a while. So Sister Irene has had visions in the past. It's one of the reasons the church uses her. And in her visions, she always says everything comes back to Mary points the way. And of course, when they find the entrance to where the keyhole or the key goes in the hole, the statue of Mary is pointing the way to where the key is, or where the keyhole is. So that kind of comes full circle, but they don't do a good job of setting up the visions and discussing them and letting us figure out a little bit more about her character. It's very rushed, and it doesn't feel like they give us enough to connect with this character. If I would have to rate this movie out of 10, I'd probably give this a 4 out of 10. It was not good. I can't recommend this one at all, but if you're a fan of the Conjuring universe and you've never seen this one and you're like, maybe I'll give it a try, just go in with zero expectations, because it's not a film that delivers on any level at all. And if you guys enjoyed it, that's great. If you didn't, that's great as well. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys have a disagreement with my my review on this. If you did enjoy it, I want to know why. I want to hear from you guys. If you didn't, of course, I will also want to know why you didn't like it. So definitely leave a comment below. Also, below in the description, you'll find links to our social media, our Discord, and all the ways you guys can support the channel. You can also hit that join button down below and join the channel as a member and get exclusive perks for exclusive content here on the GeekBlend. I want to say thank you to all of my current channel supporters. I want to say thank you to every one of you who do what you do for this channel. We do appreciate you very, very much. Thank you guys. That will do it for this review of The Nun. Leave a like on the video as well. It really does help out the YouTube algorithm, helps people find the channel. And if you found the channel for the first time and you like what you see, we'd appreciate you hit that subscribe button and then tap that bell for notifications. That way you get all the updates when we release new videos, including the Conjuring universe reviews, which will all be released before the Conjuring 3 is released in June. So check all those videos out. This will be the first one. The next one will be Annabelle Creation. So look forward to that one. Thank you guys for watching this review of The Nun. I'm Jeff. This is the GeekBlend. And if you geek about it, we speak about it. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.